Good Friday is the day God refused to save himself. Jesus is on the cross, nailed between two criminals. Some in the crowd are weeping, others are mocking. The religious leaders sneer. He saved others. Let him save himself if he's really the Messiah. The soldiers join in. Even one of the men dying beside him says it. Aren't you the Messiah? Save yourself and us. Everyone wants the same thing, proof, a demonstration of power that would make sense of what looks, by every measure, like senseless defeat. Jesus says nothing. He doesn't argue. He doesn't call down the angels. He doesn't break free or prove his identity by refusing to suffer and crushing his enemies. He absorbs the violence, the mockery, the abandonment, and he stays put on the cross. And then he says something on behalf of his enemies that's almost too shocking to take in. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. This is the scandal at the center of Christianity. Not just that God died, but how he died. Without bitterness, without retaliation, without using the power at his disposal to protect himself or destroy the people who were dead set on destroying him. From a purely human and earthly perspective, this looks like failure. If Jesus really were the Son of God, he wouldn't allow this. He'd fight back. He'd escape. He'd at bare minimum defend himself. But that assumes power works the way we think it does. Jesus had access to every resource in the universe. All power and authority had been given to him by the Father, and that power didn't leave him on the cross. What he demonstrates on the cross isn't the absence of power, it's the most deliberate, costly exercise of it. He stays not because he's a helpless, defenseless victim, but because he's chosen to stay. He suffers because love has led him there. He dies because coming down from the cross would mean saving himself at the cost of everyone else, and he refuses to do that. This is what the cross reveals about God. He's not a distant ruler demanding submission, not a tyrant managing his subjects from a safe, secluded oasis or bunker, but a God who enters fully into human suffering, takes and absorbs the worst of it into himself, and refuses, absolutely refuses, to meet it with anything other than love. The cross is God's answer to every accusation we've ever thrown at him in our darkest moments. Where were you when I was suffering? Why didn't you stop it? If you're really good, why does the world hurt and break people in the way it does? The answer he gives isn't an argument. It's a cross. I was here, in the middle of it, taking it on myself so that it wouldn't be the final word. We call this day good because we know what's coming. But if we only had Friday, we'd call it a tragedy. And Good Friday asks us to sit with that weight for a moment before rushing toward Sunday's triumph, to resist the urge to skip past the darkness to the light, to stay with the reality that love sometimes looks like loss. Faithfulness sometimes leads to places that feel and look like defeat. God's power is most unmistakably revealed, not in dominance, but in restraint. Jesus had every earthly reason to come down from that cross. He chose to stay. And somehow, in ways that have confounded the wise and undone the proud for 2,000 years, that choice of his is what saves the rest of us. We may never fully understand it. Theologians have spent lifetimes with this and still approach it on their knees and call it a mystery. But we can also stand at the foot of the cross and recognize what we're looking at. God refusing to use power the way we would use it. Love, staying when leaving was entirely possible. A king, dying for the people who put him there, and asking his Father to forgive them while it's happening. Good Friday is the day the world tried to eliminate God. It's the day the world tried to humiliate and erase him. And God let it happen, for a moment in time, not because he was powerless, but because love doesn't save itself. It saves us instead.